A moment of rage, one wrong decision, and an entire life destroyed. Can a mistake made in just a few minutes cost someone their entire lifetime? This story is not just about a crime, it's about the guilt that never lets go. Before we begin the video, please like and subscribe to channel. This story begins in the Amethi district of Uttar Pradesh. In the jurisdiction of Shivratanganj police station, there is a place called Horrifying. Near the main square, there's a property named Awasti Niwas. It's a bustling area, surrounded by market stalls, shops in the front, and a house at the back, which the owner rents out. The incident took place in early October 2024. The festival of Durga Puja was about to begin, a grand celebration dedicated to goddess Durga, spanning 9 days. Right beside Awasti Niwas stands the Ahorwa Bhawani temple, where the festival is celebrated with great enthusiasm. On the other side of the house, a Durga Pandal is set up every year. This year, the festival was to begin on October 3rd, and so did the horror. It was evening time, the streets were crowded, markets were full. Bhajans, kirtans, and prayers echoed from both the temple and the pandal. People were visiting, praying, walking around. The whole area was full of life. In the Awasti Niwas building, there was a medical store run by Ram Manohar Yadav. Around 7 p.m. he heard a loud sound. At first he thought it was just firecrackers. It was festival time after all. But the sound was louder than firecrackers. Could it be gunshots? He ignored it at first, but then the sound came again, this time 5 shots in a row. Ram Manohar grew suspicious. The noise seemed to come from behind his shop, where the rented house stood. He feared something terrible. Perhaps criminals had entered the house. Next to his shop was a narrow alley leading to the house, with a metal gate. He hadn't noticed anyone going in, but that was the only entrance and exit. Without wasting time, Ram Manohar ran straight towards the Durga Pandal, about 100 meters away, where police officers were stationed. Instead of risking it alone, he thought it was safer to alert the police. Within minutes, he reached the pandal, informed the officers about the gunshots, and urged them to come quickly. Other people nearby overheard the commotion too. Ram Manohar, the police, and a few locals rushed back to Awasti Niwas. They opened the gate to the alley and entered the house compound. The place wasn't well lit, but a few bulbs were glowing. There stood a small house with 2 rooms and a large courtyard in front. As they stepped into the courtyard, what they saw sent shockwaves through the crowd. Near the staircase, close to a water tank and a hand pump, lay the blood-soaked, lifeless body of a man. Next to him, a woman's body was also found. A few steps away, the most heart-wrenching sight, the bodies of 2 young girls. 4 bodies, all in the courtyard, all bearing bullet wounds. Empty bullet shells were scattered nearby. But then someone noticed. The woman was still breathing, faintly. Without delay, the police rushed all 4 to the CHC hospital. The time between hearing the gunshots and reaching the bodies wasn't long. They acted quickly. But sadly, doctors declared all 4 dead on arrival. Now the post-mortem had to be conducted. The police tried to identify the victims by speaking to nearby shopkeepers and the landlord. The man was identified as Sunil Kumar, a government school teacher posted at Pune village in Raebareli district. He worked as an assistant teacher at a primary school. The woman was his wife, Poonam Bhartia, and the 2 girls were their daughters, 5-year-old Drishti and 18-month-old Samiksha. All 4 murdered in cold blood. This horrific incident went viral on social media. News reporters rushed to the scene. Senior police officers reached the location. When Sunil and Poonam's families were informed, they were devastated. No one could believe what had happened. Sunil was originally from Sudamapur village, Raebareli. Poonam's maternal home was also in Raebareli, under the Badahar police station area. They had gotten married around 2019. The superintendent of police, SP, reached the spot with multiple police teams. Forensics, surveillance units, and even a dog squad were brought in. The STF, Special Task Force from Lucknow, also joined the investigation. Even the local intelligence unit and SG teams arrived. The incident began trending politically. Both ruling and opposition leaders started tweeting about it. How could someone carry out such a gruesome mass murder, that too just 100 meters away from police? Why didn't the killers fear being caught? The investigation recovered 9 empty bullet shells, 1 live cartridge, and an empty magazine from the scene. There was a market right in front of the house, so how did the killer enter and escape unnoticed? Locals said the only entry path was the alley, but no one saw them leave. Across the wall was a structure, likely a toilet, near which there was another house's terrace. Homes in the area are very close together, without clear boundaries. It seemed likely that the killer escaped by jumping rooftops after climbing from the toilet area. Police formed multiple teams, around 4 to 5, to begin the investigation. One team focused on CCTV footage, hoping to identify suspects. Was it one killer or more? At the time, Deepak had gone to the temple for Aarti. His father was at the shop and witnessed everything. He later gave a statement to the police. Chandan had also called Deepak, saying, "I've come to Ahorwa Bhawani." Deepak went to meet him. After that, Chandan arrived at the shop, parked his bike, and vanished again. He was a relative, though he never used to come here. But when he suddenly came on the evening of October 3rd, Deepak and his family were shocked. Then he left in a hurry. Now police suspicion had fully shifted toward Chandan Verma. The search for him had started across the entire state. STS Special Task Force had been deployed. Every toll plaza was under surveillance. Police forces were stationed at all borders to ensure he couldn't escape the state. By the evening of October 4th, the Noida STF arrested Chandan Verma near the Juar toll plaza. He was trying to flee to Delhi. During interrogation, he confessed the entire story. About 1.5 years ago, he met Poonam, the wife of Sunil. Slowly, their conversations increased and they grew close. Trust between the neighbors had reached a level where, when Sunil bought land, he named Poonam as the nominee. Chandan even signed as a witness during the registration. Sunil used to work at a school, while Poonam stayed at home with their daughter. During that time, Chandan started visiting their house often. The conversations turned playful, jokes turned into affection, and eventually they fell in love. During this phase, Poonam's second daughter, Samiksha, was born. At the time of the incident, she was 1.5 years old. According to Chandan, from that time onward, he was in a relationship with Poonam. He believed that their bond deepened when the baby was born. However, Poonam's brother denied the relationship. He said Chandan was the one chasing after his sister. But the social media chats and accounts of Chandan and Poonam told a different story. They supported the existence of a relationship. Chandan wanted Poonam to leave her husband and live with him. When Sunil found out about the affair, he strongly objected. He tried to convince his wife. She understood and stopped meeting Chandan. But Chandan couldn't handle this. He started threatening Poonam and harassing her. The police found a diary from Sunil's rented house in Amethi, which contained a 3-page love letter written by Chandan to Poonam. He had written about his love, his attempts to convince her, and his pain. He also wrote, "Your family is turning you against me. They are brainwashing you." On August 18th, Chandan misbehaved with Poonam and got into a physical fight with Sunil, after which an FIR was registered against him. Despite Poonam refusing to talk, Chandan kept sending her obscene photos and vulgar messages. When she blocked him and deleted his number, he forcibly took her phone, saved his number again, and kept pressuring her to engage in inappropriate conversations. This was revealed by Poonam's brother. Poonam had even slapped Chandan. Even on Raksha Bandhan, he didn't back off. His mind had become twisted. He was doing whatever came to it, just to get Poonam. After the FIR, Chandan became increasingly disturbed. He started telling people, "Do something, end this." But no one wanted to get involved. Eventually, at Makdumpur police outpost, a compromise was made between Chandan and Poonam. The police facilitated it. But after the incident, people blamed the police, saying if action had been taken instead of a compromise, the family would have been alive and Chandan would have been in jail. After the FIR, Chandan began hating Poonam and her family. He was filled with rage and ego. How could she reject my love, he thought. He wanted revenge. Fearing for their safety, Sunil moved his family to a Horwa Bawani in Amethi and rented a house at Awasti Niwas. Chandan didn't know their new address, but he knew where Sunil taught, so after September 20th, he began following him from his school. Eventually, he found out where they now lived. Then, Chandan started spying, watching the house, observing everything for several days. He chose October 3rd for the murder because there was a fair in the area that day. Crowd, noise, fireworks, gunshots would be masked in the chaos. He could easily escape. Chandan arrived on his bullet bike, parked it near Deepak's shop, pretending he was going to the temple. He then went to Sunil and Poonam's house. Poonam opened the door and let him in. The moment Chandan entered, he started a fight. Then he pulled out his pistol and began firing rapidly. In front of Poonam's eyes, he killed her husband and both children. Finally, he killed Poonam. When people reached the house, Poonam was still breathing faintly. After the murders, Chandan tried to shoot himself, but the gun misfired. He didn't have the courage to try again. That's why a live bullet was found. Another bullet had misfired during the attack. By now, Chandan was filled with a single emotion: revenge. On September 12th, he changed his WhatsApp bio. It listed 5 people: Sunil, his wife, their 2 children, and 5th, Chandan himself. On December 20th, he bought a Munger-made pistol and 10 bullets from a criminal named Ano DJ for 35,000. Munger is in Bihar. He didn't know the new rented house address, but he knew where Sunil worked. So he followed him, discovered the house, and finalized his plan. After the murders, Chandan escaped through the roof, crossed over another house, and jumped down at Deepak's shop. He took his bike and fled. On the way, he abandoned his bike and pistol in a deserted area of Mohanganj district, then escaped using public transport, first to Prayagraj, then headed toward Delhi via Noida. Near the Juar Toll Plaza, STF caught him. It was October 4th evening. On October 5th morning, the Shivratanganj police took Chandan to Mohanganj to recover the bike and pistol. While police were inspecting the weapons, Chandan snatched a service revolver from a cop, fired, and tried to escape. But police retaliated, shot him in the right leg, and brought the situation under control. He was rushed to the hospital, treated, and then sent to jail. On October 7th, Lalganj police recovered 5 Munger-made pistols. A gang led by Ano DJ was trafficking them, buying at 25,000 and selling for 30 to 35,000 across Fatehpur, Unnao, and Kanpur. During the investigation, police arrested members of the gang too. Within just 27 days, the police completed their investigation and submitted the charge sheet in Amethi's Sessions Court. The hearing will take place in a fast-track court, and the victim's family will receive swift justice. On October 6th, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh met the victim's family. One family member was promised a government job, housing, farmland, and financial assistance. This is how one man, blinded by love, wiped out a happy, loving family. Dear friends, the intention behind sharing this incident is not to hurt anyone or disturb your peace. It's to make you aware, to help you stay vigilant. What do you think about this case? Tell us in the comment box.